Okay, it is 6:30. I'd like to call this regularly scheduled meeting of council to order. As the city of Winkler, we acknowledge that we're situated on Treaty 1 land, the home of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that have been made on these territories and acknowledge that there have been many harms and mistakes in the past. We dedicate ourselves today to a future based on respect of all peoples, including Indigenous communities, in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration, moving forward to a harmonious, prosperous future together. Be it resolved that the agenda for the regular council meeting of June 25th, 2024 be adopted. Mover?
Andrew?
Second.
Marvin.
You see it in front of you. Any additions or changes to that agenda? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting of June 11th, 2024 be adopted. Mover?
Dawn Fair.
Second.
Peter.
Any thoughts or comments on those minutes? All in favor? And that is carried. We have one piece of correspondence, the Waste Reduction and Recycling Support letter with some shared notes. Nice to be able to have a check flow in. That number is fairly consistent to previous years, but it is still nice to be able to get that support. No other comments?
If I may.
If you would.
Thank you very much for attaching the list of the previous years. When I look at the first one on the list, 64-7, I think that was sort of when we were still, the arm of Stanley was still with us. And for me to see, so it dropped down after that to 34, now we're almost double that again. I think we're getting close to where, like this is an actual figure for a city of Winkler, which is good to see, and that we're moving up. It's a good thing. So thanks for sharing the details of the exemption.
That did also fill up the fire we had.
David,
Yes.
I'll ask you, David, if you're going to speak to it, so please come to the microphone.
Come on, David, you know better.
I just also want to mention that one dip for that 1 year, that was because of the fire we had at the facility, and we had to
Okay.
haul lots of recycling away, so we were not able to process it.
Yeah.
That's why the rebate obviously is less as well.
Excellent. Appreciate that additional information, David. Not seeing anything further, we'll move into finance. Be it resolved that accounts payable in the amount of $898,713.38 as approved by the Finance Committee be approved for payment. Mover?
Andrew?
Second.
Don Friesen.
As always, your check register is attached there, and you can run through each one of those pages and pages of checks. Any questions or comments on what you see there?
I like that one from Amazon for 1 cent. That must have been a good purchase.
We try to be frugal.
Exactly.
Good job.
Free shipping.
On that note, all in favor? And that is carried. Moving into protective services, be it resolved that the Winkler Fire Report for the May 2024 be received for information. Mover.
Dawn Fair.
Second.
Michael?
The report is attached. Anything that we should take particular notice of?
The incidents are down over last year, but that could easily go back up again. You never know. Had a little meeting with Richard, our fire chief, this morning, and he was telling me they did the green bin rescue training. They had that in front of their fire hall. And he was trying to give me a heads up on some extra projects that they were going to present to us later on. So
Very nice.
we'll see what that all entails.
Fair enough. It's good to get the heads up, right?
Yeah.
Not seeing anything further. All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the minutes for the Transportation and Utilities Committee meeting of June 11th, 2024 be adopted. Mover?
Marvin?
Second?
Andrew?
Again, minutes are attached. Anything that we should be particularly aware of?
Maybe just a little bit of a recap on some of the things we dealt with. We're working, in this case, with a couple of churches on parking, trying to help them out with their challenges for parking. One is on 15th Street, and with their parking, and some of it across the street and so on, trying to come up with something that will be safe and workable. And the other one is the Pembina Valley Baptist Church with their parking challenges, so we're working on that. We're also talking about our public transportation pilot project. We're getting closer, I think, to some ways that we can do this pilot, and because we do want to be successful.
Absolutely.
And give us good information. Main Street update. After last Wednesdays, was it the previous Wednesdays, really big downpours and tornado warnings and so on that we had. I have to hand it to the people that work for us. I went in after I shut down at the fire hall, and I stopped here. They had water, their hole, they were going to do an access hole completely full of water. And they had a couple of pumps running, and they used a big trackle with a big bucket as a ladle to empty it out. Very positive, and said we're going to get this done, and we're going to start working again tomorrow morning. And those of us that drove on Main Street saw a North Railway going east from Main Street was one huge long lake, and the next day it was, well, I don't think it was dry, but so we have really good people, I think, from what I see, working on our projects. So and then the other thing, a big thank you to our people. That same rainstorm we had with a lot of rain earlier. Sorry, this was the May 24th one. The fact that all our systems were able to keep up, and the fact that our people were so well prepared and so dedicated, resulted in none of our systems being overloaded to the point where they couldn't handle anything. And then we just talked also, we got an update on the water treatment and the wastewater treatment plants. And they're mostly on schedule and on budget. I think the challenge now has been with so much of the moisture that we've had, that maybe slow them down a little bit, but it's great to see even on this, the Mountain Avenue pipe system, they're still moving ahead despite so much moisture that we've had and challenges. So.
Excellent. Thank you, Marvin.
Do we have where's our siren? Do we have a siren north of the highway?
Not north of the highway.
No.
No, we have one at south end here, and then more centrally located by the,
Yeah, I'm just wondering
Recreation.
if we should start looking at, there's a big population north, and I know my daughter's working at the greenhouse at the time, they heard nothing of the siren.
No
And
way.
There's such a huge population north of the highway.
That's an excellent point.
Southern Emergency Response has been looking at that.
Okay, good,
So,
good,
um,
because,
and we have long held a reserve line for contributions for a siren as needed.
okay.
So when that is determined, then we'll have at least a good amount of the funds to do that.
Okay. And that's a really good point, and I'm glad that that's there.
Yeah.
I would also encourage anyone in Winkler to sign up for our alerts,
Yeah.
so that you would also get them. You'll get texts
Yeah.
and phone calls. If in fact you don't hear the siren, that there is still an opportunity to be aware
Yeah.
of a concern when it arises.
But the situation there was, you're not supposed to have your cell phone on you when you're working.
True.
Which, you know, so anyways, so I checked with a few others, and then further northwest, they heard it, but they didn't, so, but like, we have so many apartments there and stuff like that, it's just, like.
See, the idea of the sirens is not to notify anybody inside
In the building, it's for outside.
It's for outside, and so the message that we have going out is, if you hear the siren, go inside and listen to information, why is the siren going? And so that's, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't, and I think we've had some very strong winds.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, so then it can easily mean that a certain area one time might not hear it, but we were, I think, quite happy with the reports we got from a large area of the city that had heard the siren on the roadside, so.
Okay. Continuing on then,
Did we have the vote on that already yet?
No.
I did not ask the question, all in
Okay.
favor? Carried. Thank you, Jody. Moving on then into planning. I'm gonna read the entire resolution for this building condition piece because you may not have all seen it. It hasn't been at committee level, but this is a really good piece, I believe. City of Winkler Council recognizes that building condition assessments of city facilities support our ongoing efforts of sustainability as it is prioritized in council's strategic plan. Council also recognizes that building condition assessments can identify areas of improvement to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by improving energy efficiency. Therefore, be it resolved that the City of Winkler Council support the proposed multi-building condition assessment project. Mover.
Andrew?
Second.
Marvin?
You will note in your shared notes there as well, we already had some budget set aside to do a building condition assessment on this building. Now with this opportunity to maybe leverage that, we may in fact be able to do 3 buildings for less than the budget that we already had for this building. So we get better information and it cost us less than what we had. Seems like a pretty good win to me.
Good win.
We like a good deal.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Next resolution, similarly, I'll read the entire piece. City of Winkler recognizes the importance of planting and maintaining trees within the City of Winkler. Some of the benefits of that urban forestry brings to our community is stormwater mitigation, cleaner air, as well as noise pollution reduction. Therefore, be it resolved that council support the City of Winkler's initiative targeting to plant 200 trees per year within city limits beginning in 2025 and ending in 2028. Mover.
Peter?
Second.
Michael?
Michael beat you to that one, Don.
Good.
Again, some shared notes there in terms of history, and obviously planting 200 plus trees a year within city limits is a fantastic idea. We have been historically at very close to that number already, and in fact, may be able to push past that a little bit. But again, to have somebody partner with us on that financially makes the reason for this resolution here.
That's right.
Does that include tree replacement?
I should ask,
Because there's a lot of ash trees that are dying in Winkler that I don't think they will live too much longer.
So
Yeah, we
you're-
regularly do tree replacement as well.
Okay.
So
so that tree replacement is over and above the 200 that we planned?
I think
or is
it's
that part
roughly
of-
in the average of the 200,
Okay,
yeah.
excellent.
And just because the resolution says, ending in 2028, of course, we'll continue, but for the purposes of this program, is why the
Yeah.
resolution is worded that way.
And it's nice to see, anytime we can find some dollars that help to make our budget make sense, that we don't have to ask of our local residents, that's a good thing.
Wonderful.
And with the weather we've had this year, it's just awesome to see the growth, the trees, the foliage is, I
Absolutely.
can't remember it ever having looked so full and green at this time of the year, so.
Lots of rain to help the trees grow.
It
helps too.
underscores, yeah, it does, yes.
What's been
But
the
it
success
underscores
rate?
how nice it is for our community that's built on open prairie
Yeah.
to have an oasis like this. It's nice.
Do we know the success rate of this grant application? Like, are we expecting this to be approved?
It's hard to say. I think the feedback that I got on both of these grants is that they're looking very favorably at our applications.
And it has to be on city property?
I believe so. But I can verify that.
We always only plant on our own property.
Does the golf course count as your own property? Technically, yes. You lease it for $1?
It could, but we normally just do boulevards and parks.
I can find out. yeah.
They don't grow with golf
Please.
carts.
Let's call it Centennial Park.
We gotta
need
find a way
trees.
to grow them there.
Any other
I
comments
agree.
on this resolution? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the MSTW minutes and reports for May and June 2024 be received for information. Mover?
John Fair?
Second.
Don Friesen?
Comments?
Well, I just, and for just one of the highlights is like for May and June, our commercial permits for MSCW was $82 million in value, just in commercial value.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're gonna have another stellar year as this year continues. And the good thing is our guys are all keeping up with inspections.
That's fantastic. And it's good to see growth happening over
And
the
we-
region.
We got the RPGA.
Right, we signed a contract with the RPGA that we're gonna be doing all their inspections. So, yeah, should be a very good partnership with them as well.
Excellent. That is a stopgap while they look, or is this a
No.
more permanent?
This is a 5-year agreement.
Very nice.
So they were having difficulty finding a inspector. So with us, with our track record that we have and what the work we've done for them, we got together with the RPGA and came up with an arrangement where we'll both be happy allowing us to or helping us have a contract with them.
What an excellent way
Yeah.
to be able to benefit the region by partnering.
Yeah,
Well
and
done, thank
you know, and they are very excited that they can partner with us. And I think as far as, it looks like any future partnerships, you know, that we both can benefit, they're open for, so.
Kudos to the MSTW board for showing that type of leadership to the region.
And it gives us a great opportunity too. We have, some of our inspectors are getting to the age where, you know, retirement is in the horizon, but it's quite far away, but we can hire a junior now
Absolutely.
and then get them trained and then, you know, so yeah, it's a win-win for the region and for MSTW. I think it's a good, it's a good partnership.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All in favor?
This is a combined May, June, or is was one missing? Cause it only says, it's only got reports for May here, right? So not sure why
I
it
thought
says
there
June
was
on this
two.
report.
Let's see here.
The meeting minutes are from.
Yeah, this
The
is for
inspector's
May.
report is from
Correct.
May.
That's for May. And then we have from, one's from month of May, one's from, from beginning of 2024 to end of May for a building permit.
Okay.
So the June isn't in there
Yeah,
as far as.
That's why I'm wondering if it should just say May instead of May and June.
Andrew is suggesting. a
I think
friendly
it's just
amendment.
because the date was, I see a June date on their May inspector's report, maybe that's why. So it should just be May, we can take the June off,
Okay.
yeah.
So mover and seconder are fine with that?
Yep.
Thank you. I'll ask the question again. All in favor? And that is carried. Nice catch, Andrew.
It's minimal.
Okay, be it resolved that Winkler Stanley Economic Development Corporation minutes for the May 28th, 2024 meeting be received for information. Mover,
Don Friesen?
second.
Michael?
Michael got it again. Any thoughts or comments on it?
We didn't have a rep there?
We don't have one anymore.
I'm on there,
He's-
but I wasn't available.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's our guy.
Anything else in those minutes? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the following amendments be made to Schedule A and Schedule B of the fees and charges bylaw number 2285-22. Mover.
Peter,
Second.
Don Fair?
Okay, we see them there. Jody, is there anything that we should note?
Fairly minor changes, a couple of changes to the temporary water meter fee and water and sewer service connection. And then on the other schedule, just small change to the designated officer and the post-approval reexamination fee. And as per shared notes that you have there, these items were all discussed and approved at the June 11th committee meetings.
The way I read this, it looks like mostly just cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Other comments, questions? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the minutes for the planning committee meeting of June 11th, 2024 be adopted. Mover.
Ron Friesen?
Second.
Don Fair?
Okay. Attached. Any comments or questions?
Doing some zoning bylaw stuff, which I'm glad there's people that like to go through all those things and tweak them and fix them and yeah. Feeling a little bit of industrial drive, looking at how we can clean that up somehow. Canvas buildings that are popping up more and more in our community. Some of those things that need to be dealt with. So other than that, yeah, lots of just with the bylaws, some of those things.
Okay, thank you, Don. Questions from council? All in favor? Carried. That brings us to community services. Be it resolved that the minutes for the Community Services Committee meeting of May 28th, 2024 be adopted. Mover.
Andrew?
Don got it. Andrew got the second.
Hmm?
Or did I?
No, Andrew was first, I
My apologies, Andrew. Well done.
think. I was,
Don got the second.
he's imitating my voice, I think. Very well done.
Nicely done. Go ahead, Andrew. Any thoughts on what we see here?
Yeah, it was a lot of updates in this meeting, but for input, we were switching away from the gas chlorine system at the pool. Hopefully it'll be a little better for our staff and for our residents. And then the dog park relocation discussion, obviously from a lot of feedback that we've had, we're gonna postpone this until we can find a more suitable or agreed upon location, but until then, we won't have anything for them, so. Otherwise, we got rejected for a couple grants there and got approved for a couple grants, so it was good there. Got our green team and our Canada Summer Job grants, which is good. We usually have success with those, so it's good.
I think the dog park was a significant conversation there, and I can certainly recognize that those people who are looking for a dog park are quite disappointed that we don't have one. But I would venture to say again that the community should note that you can affect change if you step forward when you see something happening that you have a concern about. So the local neighborhood in that area came forward with some additional information we didn't have earlier with regards to petitions that had happened some time ago, and lobbied fairly consistently with concerns that they had around it. And it did. It caused us to pause and say, we should consider something else. So the community can affect change when there's a unified voice that reaches out. All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the South Central Regional Library Winkler branch minutes for the May 13th, 2024 meeting be received for information. Mover.
Don Fair?
Second.
Michael?
Michael, thank you. Anything in those notes that we should be aware of?
The book sale, I don't know if I shared it last time, but they raised $17,700 in the book sale.
Wow. Very nice.
So that's definitely a good boost.
A very significant number. How does that compare to previous years? Is that consistent?
Over last year, I think it was down a little bit from last year,
Okay.
but not much, so it's pretty consistent. And then we have the, fire department helping out for cleaning up and at, like Morton Fire Department, so they get a little bit of, money to help with that. And, yeah, they said for next year, they will definitely be, in it again,
Excellent. Thank you.
so.
Not seeing anything further. All in favor? Carried. We will move then to delegations and hearings.
I'm kicked out.
We have, again, the breakdown of our system. So I will ask for a motion to recess this meeting for the purpose of holding public hearings. Mover.
Peter?
Second.
Marvin.
All in favor? Carried. This then is a public hearing for variance number VA 2024-013 and conditional use number CU 2024-009 for 660 Norland Drive. Jody?
Yes, combined public hearing for the variance and conditional use as mentioned. The applicant for both is Alexander Marks on behalf of owners 1002-8807 Manitoba Limited at 660 Norland Drive. The purpose here is in order to construct a 4,056 square foot industrial building. The variance is to reduce the minimum rear yard setback from 20 feet to 10.5 and to reduce the minimum side yard setback from 5 feet to 3 feet. On the conditional use, the request here is in order, again, to construct a second principal use building on one lot, which is a planned unit development. So, and this is within the SI Service Industrial Zone. We have not received any objections to either of these applications. And you have a report to council from staff there with a recommendation to approve with some conditions as noted.
Thank you. We haven't heard anything on this, outside of this, nothing.
We have not, and we have confirmed that staff have relayed the reports to the applicants as well.
Thank you.
So
We
this
don't
is-
see anybody else here either. So council,
So this, are they expanding this building to the west or what? Or is this a new building?
It's a new building,
So it's just on the other side of the property or what?
cold storage building, yep.
It's got a drain on each side that they're putting the variance to.
Yeah,
that
there's
okay?
public reserve, yeah. Like what we do want to be careful and what we're advising people is to take caution not to encroach in our public reserves, because that is critical part of our drainage and stormwater system. But in this case, staff have reviewed it and feel that this is workable.
Okay.
our system is down, but you see it on the screen here. You've had an opportunity to review it earlier. Do we need to pause till we're back up and running, or are we
I
prepared to
can,
continue?
I'm prepared to do it.
Okay, and then I've had a chance to review them as well, I'm comfortable with it.
Yep.
Seeing a general nodding of heads, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing for variance number VA 2024-013 and conditional use number CU 2024-009. Move it.
Peter?
Second.
Marvin.
Marvin beat you, Don. Any questions on that hearing, on those applications?
There's no concern from the staff or from the neighbors, I'm good.
Okay. We've heard expressed that there weren't concerns from
That's
staff other than what have been dealt with.
correct?
Excellent.
Yeah.
All in favor? Carried. We'll then ask for a motion,
Do you want me to read it with the conditions as we had stated it?
if you don't mind, that would be nice.
Okay. So therefore be it resolved that City Council approve CU 2024-009, subject to city approval of engineered lot grading and drainage plan and compliance with low-vis Clover Creek standards.
Okay. We would have that as part of our 14.4, Jody, or 14.5?
That would be that was 14.5.
Do you mind reading the resolution for 14.4 as
Yep.
well?
I will do that.
Please.
So essentially the same, but therefore be it resolved that City Council approve VA 2024-013, subject to city approval of engineered lot grading and drainage plan and compliance with low-vis Clover Creek standards.
Thank you, Jody. Mover?
Don Fair?
Second.
Michael.
Any thoughts or comments? All in favor? Carried. Jody, if you would again, please read 14.5.
Therefore be it resolved that Winkler City Council approve CU 2024-009, subject to city approval of engineered lot grading and drainage plan and compliance with low-vis Clover Creek standards.
Mover?
Don Friesen.
Second.
Peter,
Comments, questions? All in favor? Carried. Jody, if you can slide that screen up a little bit so we can catch, unless you're going to lose yours too.
No, we're good there.
Tiny bit further back.
There we go.
There we are.
Oh,
This
and,
then is a public hearing for bylaw number 2320-24 at 435 Roblin Boulevard East.
That's just some of the other
There
documents.
we are.
Oops, come on. Okay. So yeah, this public hearing is for the rezoning at 715 Circle K Drive and 435 Roblin Boulevard East. And they are to be rezoned from M, which is heavy industrial, and SI service industrial to SI service industrial. And there's kind of two parcels there that you see are planning to be consolidated. And so here again, we don't have any objections to this application. And there's some shared notes there as well. But the report to council that you have, again, has staff recommending approval with, again, just a few conditions of the landscaping and the lot consolidation by October 31st, 2024.
Thank you, Jody. We've heard nothing in our office or online.
No objections.
Seeing nobody here. Council, you've had an opportunity now to hear Jody. You've had an opportunity to review those prior to now, of course, because right now we can't. Did you, in your review, find anything that we believe we need to talk about?
I guess I'd had a question, since it's going to be consolidated, then there's going to be an extra driveway, but when you look at the property, it almost needs to have access on that side, so that's not a concern, I imagine.
also stated that it was going to be concreted, right?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, that's part of the
So that can
standards
be
that we have
addressed
as
right
well
away when you
on
make the change,
access.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, you're talking about the additional access at 435, Roblin?
Right, because it's an extra one, like, since it was separate lots, obviously they needed a separate
Yeah.
driveway. But when you look at the configuration of the buildings on that place, you need to have access.
Yeah, and that is something that I think, as noted, we can deal with from the designated officer position. Yeah.
Yeah, this is disappointing that we can't look at this on.
Exceptionally so. Would we like to pause
I don't
until
know.
we have an opportunity to see it?
I saw it and the plans look great. I wish they would all develop industrial land, like,
Correct.
and if they do what they say with the trees, with the, you know, it's a well planned out.
Yeah,
Looks good.
And the thing is, what I like about it is if you have like your, like, from your farm to the table is, I like that, especially in the US. You have, farmers that have either orchards or produce or whatever, and then they have a restaurant or a store right there for their product, and I think that's great to have that.
Okay, further comments?
Question?
Andrew, you're okay if I ask? Okay. Then we'll ask for a motion to close public hearing for bylaw number 2320-24. Mover,
Marvin?
second.
Michael?
All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that bylaw 2320-24 be given second reading. Mover,
Don?
second.
Peter.
Comments? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2320-24 be given third and final reading. Mover,
Don Friesen.
second.
Michael?
Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that we adjourn public hearings and reconvene into regular meeting of council. Mover,
Peter.
second.
I'll help.
Thank you, Don. Don Fair, all in favor? Carried. We have no additions. We have no other business. There is nobody in chambers to ask questions. We have no questions online. I would ask, do we need Jody to convene into in-camera?
Yes.
Okay. Be it resolved that council recess this meeting for the purpose of an in-camera session. Mover,
Andrew?
second.
Peter.
All in favor? Carried. And move back into regular council meeting. Mover,
Marvin?
second.
Michael?
All in favor? Carried. And that should leave me with 18.3, right, Jody?
19 adjournment, sorry.
Oh, there's 19. Be it resolved that this meeting of council be adjourned. Mover,
Don Friesen.
second.
Andrew?
All in favor? And